Now, many of you know that May and I have closed our Orange and Teal outlet at Marina Square. The main reason, as we indicated in the announcement, was rising costs. Over the last couple of years, suppliers, whether it's coffee or cake or vegetables or meat, have been sending out notices that they had to do price adjustments. I noticed that these adjustments came especially thick around the time that the GST was increased to 9%. In a way, I don't blame these businesses because they too have to pay office rents, water bills and utilities and so on. And when you stack on top of these increases another 2% of GST, inflation becomes a serious problem. Then there's transportation. Vendors have to truck the supplies to the customers. Petrol, COE, and ERP rates have all escalated. Fuel prices have jumped 25% or even more from a couple of years ago. It used to be about $90 to $100 for a full tank for my car, but it's now about $120 to $130. When all the supplies increase in price, you can imagine cumulatively how much a dish costs by the time it reaches your table. Here's double whammy. When the cost of living goes up, people cut back in their spending, which leads to lower sales. But high costs not only affect consumers, they also contribute to retrenchments and closures in other sectors. Dyson and Samsung recently announced layoffs. The SI Group announced that it will close its chemical plant on Jurong Island in 2025, citing rising costs as a reason. Now, things have gotten so expensive that multinationals are leaving Singapore for Malaysia and Thailand. Even our very own UOB is relocating to KL. In the F&B sector, Business Times reported that in the first 9 months of this year, nearly 2,500 eateries ceased operations. This is an increase of 20% of closures compared to the whole of 2023. And get this, the average rate of monthly closures surpassed even that in 2020. Now, I don't have to tell you that 2020 was the year that COVID pandemic gripped Singapore and the world. Things are that bad. Now, this downturn underscores the point I've been making all along. The government has created and lives off a rentier economy where it makes laws and policies that increase its wealth without creating any meaningful benefit or wealth to society. It extracts money from the people by constantly hiking fees and prices rather than building a sustainable system that generates productive and innovative economic activity. How long can such a system last before you eventually run it into the ground? Don't just take my word for it. A study published just this month by two Singaporean economists, Professors Linda Lim from the University of Michigan and Pang Eng Fong from SMU, found that the present economic system is, in their words, inefficient, inequitable, and unsustainable. And such a system means that the quality of life and the standard of living for Singaporeans will continue to deteriorate. That same study noted that weak productivity performance imperils Singapore's competitiveness, growth, and living standards. Now let me come back to Orange and Teal. Despite the difficult times for the F&B sector, we're satisfied with the performance of our outlet at Rochester Mall. I've got bigger plans for the outfit in the not-too-distant future, which I will announce when the time comes. The idea of starting an eatery started more than 10 years ago with the SDP. There were difficulties to embark on such a venture, and so I thought I'd get it off the ground first and then see what it led to. I've always wanted the cafe to be more than just a joint where diners came to eat. I wanted it to be a place where we gather to have passionate discussions, even heated debates. A place where active minds come to play and create, where hearts are free to speak of the joys and fears of living on our island home. For it is through such free and open conversation that we lay the foundation for a vibrant and sophisticated and cultured society. Orange and Teal is a microcosm of that Singapore I wish to see. Of course, the cafe must be viable and a growing business first and foremost, one that is proudly Singaporean. I'm thankful to have started it with my family. But like all startups, the first months were trying, to say the very least. There were quarrels, tears, and tired bodies. But there was also this quiet joy of seeing a unique brand come to life. May and I don't mind the hard work. We'll clear your tables, wash the dishes, and make countless trips to the refuse center. We do it with the vision of creating a place of comforting familiarity for you, like an old shoe wrapped snugly around those tired souls and souls. We aim to keep prices as low as we can. Believe me, it's a struggle given the relentless rise in costs. But I'm confident that we can do this if we have your support to increase the volume. So do come and visit us. The next time you're thinking of celebrating a birthday or want to enjoy an elegant dinner over a special occasion, or simply have a cup of coffee and cake, come to this little corner at Buena Vista. At some point in the not too distant future, I hope to corporatize the business and take a step back from daily operations as I look to honor my promise of becoming a full-time MP at Bukit Batok after the next GE. To be sure, there's still a lot of hard work ahead to establish the orange and teal ideal in the local F&B landscape. But like Steve Jobs, who changed the world with the iPhone, or Ed Catmull, who created movies like Frozen and Toy Story that enthrall both children and adults alike, or Mohandas Gandhi, who showed us what compassion and determination can achieve, everything that is worth doing in life always starts with a dream.